seagulls follow trawler. It's because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.
Talking nonsense. So I thought, no, enough's enough. Why should I put up with that? Talking nonsense. So I thought, no, enough's enough. Why should I put up with that? Don't back down, double down. Don't back down, double down.
No happy. Not a happy bus tonight, guys. Fucking hell. I felt it was flat. We did all the hard work. We won a trophy. This was meant to kick us on. I've had to come on 4.5 minutes early. But fuck's sake. Like, I just thought tonight was the chance to fucking ram it down them. Get the result. I have said this all month, and I am not the guy to kid on to be Nostradamus or anything like that, right? It's really, I'm not ITK, you know? I'm not ITK in the know. Oh, my sources tell me. I hate all that bullshit. And you'll see that creeping into other podcasts. Tonight was about a team. You lift the trophy. That means you go on and win your next match. You're full of confidence, full of beans, full of swagger. What the fuck happened? They absolutely, I know it wasn't Celtic's full strength team. Right, we all know that. Did they have enough to beat St Mirren away? Did they have enough to adapt during the game? And we are going to come back to this. We are going to come back to this because tonight, I'm sorry, but the stubbornness and king size Homer, great, I'm chuffed at anyone who watches. This isn't about fucking, selling the Bhoycie bus and all that bullshit. It's not about that tonight for a change. Which, I don't mind promoting the channel every now and then. I've just realised how much this is costing me, by the way. I'll need to work this out. But anyway, who cares? Tonight, oh man, I think tonight was flat. I thought it was blunt. And I don't care who Celtic starting 11 is ever in life. Celtic should always, always, always have a team capable of beating St Mirren. End of story. Then you add into their situation into it. Fuck me. Do you know what we become tonight? The last 10 minutes of the game, we became a bunch of desperados. Merry Christmas, all that bullshit, all the good vibes. It's all about winning the next one. You win the trophy, you win the next one. You win the trophy, you win the next fucking game. And if there's Huns coming in or Rangers fans or whatever it is everyone's saying, I'm all for it. I'll happily debate with them. Oh, look, the truth is out there. The truth is out there. I mean, what a pathetic username. Guys, hey, listen, I may as well just stop the show tonight because the truth is out there, came on. And that means he knows the truth about life and he knows everything. May Xmas vermin don't choke on the Rangers stuff. Well, mate, it went out of date in 2012, son. So thank you for your contribution. If I could, delete all these comments at the same time, I don't kid on. There's an administrator monitoring this bullshit. By the way, I don't kid on that I've got any of that. But anyway, let's talk Celtic. And I think James comes in with a fair point here already. James Moore, welcome to the Bhoycie bus. And it's not the Bhoycie bus I want you on, James Moore, tonight. It's not the same Bhoycie bus we've had since it began. I used to think it was coinciding with good results, but hey ho, maybe tonight was it was a wee wake up call for the bus, a wee wake up call for Ange, a wee wake up call for the Celtic supporters as well. It was always going to be hard tonight. We were running on fumes, threadbare. The likes of MJ and Abada, not good enough. The latter is a lightweight. Moff gets a free pass. That's fine. How many St Mirren players will get a free pass tonight, mate? How many St Mirren players get a free pass tonight? The rotation they did with their squad, they certainly don't need to worry about £3.5 million Abada not being up to scratch. And we have to look at ourselves this time. We have to look within ourselves. And it's mad. Bob comes in. What happens, Bhoycie? You told me Celtics are coming. We just won a trophy 3 days ago, my man. 3 days ago. I was only 6 points right now. I'm not saying we're going to win the league. In fact, I'm on record as always saying I'm not convinced we will win the league. However, I still think we're in with a fighting chance. King Size Homer comes back in flat and devoid of ideas. Whenever Abada and Johnson start together without a recognised striker alongside, we look toothless. All those crosses wasted without a target man. Again, I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of arguments about that. I really do. We will work this out. I mean, the absentees tonight, for example, we didn't foresee, guys. Right? Let's just be honest. Kyogo starts the cup final. I know he came off a wee bit early, but the performance he put in was electric. He's straight out the squad tonight. What's going on? I would like clarity on that. I think Ange is one of those guys, he wants to keep you all guessing, us all guessing, because he doesn't want to give anything away. And he said tonight, I think it was on BBC Scotland, that any player that missed, it was due to, I was trying to find it on my Twitter there, but who cares? It was something along the lines of they were unavailable injury, basically. I'm like, well, of course he's fucking injured. You started him in that final. Now we start looking back at the final. This is going to happen. And we need to accept this. Folk are now going to go, well, do you know what? League Cup final was great for a second. It was great for a moment. But I'd rather we won the 3 points today. That is going to now be the debate. And the absentees we didn't foresee. Joe Hart was another one. What's the explanation behind that? Where the fuck's that came from? Again, I'm not pinning the result on that, but I want to know why. And we know Celtic squad is, I don't agree, by the way, with threadbare stuff. See, when you compare what we played against tonight, St Mirren squad was threadbare that faced Celtic tonight. Let's get that abundantly fucking clear right now. The St Mirren squad was threadbare that played Celtic tonight. Celtic squad, in comparison with theirs, was rich. All right? let's not make excuses because I don't go down that road. Now, we're going to get to stages where fans are we're going to fall out at times over this. This is what happens. Results go shit, fans disagree, division gets caused. And it's been great because Ange has created this unity with the fans through firstly, his persona, his demeanour, his calmness. But he's got a hell of a lot of a buy-in at times, I've felt, and again, never think there's an agenda for Bhoycie. It's the bus. We explore every possibility. But I tend to agree with them that the adulation he felt he was getting was a wee bit over the top. Tonight, did Ange do enough for you to change the game? The way we knew it was going at half time, let's be honest. See, when you see a rerun of the first half to the second half, to me, it's up to a fucking manager to change. And I don't care what league you're in. The SPL, I've said this for years, is this mad different breed. It's this mad. It's a mad place. I'm not saying it's because it's brilliant football. You know, it's not brilliant football. It's different. And there's many ways to skin a cat. You know? In comes Feed the Bear. We cannot keep playing that kind of football. As he said many times, he's got a lot to learn in Scottish football. His team selection was pish poor tonight. I thought the selection, Feed the Bear, and always respect your views. I've not got that many issues with the actual first 11 Feed the Bear, if I'm honest to you, pal. It was where's the change? Where's the change? Where's the different dynamic? Where's the right? Recognise this ain't going the way we want it to. Recognise what's at stake. Sack your principles. The same way we probably should have in the final 8 minutes against Leverkusen. Now, I don't want to be beaten down on Ange because I love the unity that he's brought between the fans and himself, the coaching staff, the team. That's all brilliant. That's all well said and good. But don't make it like he's in an invincibility cloak, you know? And Feed the Bear comes in. He wants to criticise the team selection. Fair enough. You're entitled to that. What I criticise is why at no point did you see a different dynamic happening? Why did we never try to play differently? When does it come to the stage? We need to just lump balls in the box or put pressure on the defence in a different way. There's not only one way to play football. I go back to a Bhoycie catchphrase. In fact, we might end up calling a show in the next few years if this channel keeps going the way it is. Calling it many ways to skin a cat. And I stand by that. I feel there's many ways to skin a cat. Paul McFarlane comes in now. I want to talk about this as well. Mikey Johnson, yet again, is the fall guy. Why is he the fall guy every time, though, Paul? No offence to yourself. I see it left, right, and centre. Some people saying they don't even want to wish to ever see him play for Celtic again. Fall guy patter. Fall guy patter. Tonight, oh, come on. We had enough there to win that tonight convincingly. We didn't. That's not Mikey Johnson's fault. I always want as many comments as I know it's a tense night, by the way. So if I try and make banter, don't take it the wrong way. I know the comments are going to be wild. I've never seen as many flooding as what there are right now. And thank you for that. Just, I'm trying to get my way through them all. I'm not picking and choosing. It's a tense night. There's a lot of us fucked off, right? That's fair. Jay Lee, we need to start raining shots in and goal. The style of Murder McCoy, Bobby Murdoch, etc. At this point, we are trying to walk the ball into the net. I'm sorry, I agree with Jay Lee 1 trillion%. And it's not about favouritism with commenters or any of that bullshit. I know y'all get it. What I'm saying is, I look at that and I go, I agree. The perfect goal. We're not Arsenal. That's what Arsenal do. They try and score the perfect goal. Celtic need to lump the ball at times. Macaroon, he's got a different idea. He says, fuck up, man. Ange knows what he's doing. Only has the players available. That's brilliant if Ange knows what he's doing. I don't give a fuck if Ange knows what he's doing. I'm 6 points behind the league title race right now. End of. It won't happen. Feed the Bears back in. You misunderstand what comes. He could have started a better team. Perhaps. But that's up for debate as well. And I get that. Sorry, Feed the Bear, if it came over the wrong way. I was just saying, I felt the changes he made didn't really change the style of football, which I thought was necessary against a bank of 11 basically you're playing against, a bank of 10 people call it, but the goalie counts, doesn't he? And there you go, Macaroon, 11 behind the ball. It happens. Well, I'm sorry. I get it happens. Fair enough. But we have to win, mate. Come on. King Homer's telling you, we're not going to win every game this season. This was a game that we should have won. There's been too many games like this already in the league. Let's be honest. People before tonight thought we had an unfair advantage due to St Mirren's lineup or availability. I think the minimum requirement in the SPFL is 13 players, including the goalie. They somehow fulfilled that. They made, and this is unprecedented, 2 requests to have the game postponed in the last 5 days. That's how desperate their situation was. Let's not kid ourselves on. That is a game, as King Size Homer says, we should have won. Pato Banton comes in. I know you're not called Pato Banton, but it just sounds better. Ange Ball is ultimately naive. Defence poor, misunderstands Central Park set pieces in modern game. I'm not going to go as far as saying it's naive. I think it's one-dimensional. But I also think we are in danger when he says publicly, we play one way, you can become predictable. I don't ever want Celtic to become predictable. You can't just peddle that like sort of, well, I think I'm right, and that's the way it's going to go. I think there's more to it. And again, I'm disappointed in the points that we've dropped this season, Paul McFarlane, I have gave Mikey Johnson more chances than Ange. If you can't perform against St Mirren B team, then he needs to go. I just think it's a bit of a pile on Mikey Johnson. Glasgow Rebel, it seems like I'm in the minority here. Mikey Johnson be stealing a wage for 2 years. I think he's a complete whipping boy right now, if I'm honest. Jay Lee, he is the fall guy because he keeps getting the ball into the sweet FA. He's a waste out his career, get him to. Fair enough, but he takes responsibility, tries to get the ball. I'm not saying his end product's brilliant. I've never seen him 6 months fully fit, though. And nor does any of you either. But I am not a Mikey Johnson fanboy either. I just think it's a collective environment. I'm sure Ange feels the same way. The way Ange talks is, it's a team. It's a collective. It's a mindset, mate. I think to blame all this on Mikey Johnson is difficult. I find that difficult. Joe P comes in. Brilliant to have you with us, Joe. It's an absolute gutter, Bhoycie. Agreed. First and foremost, the frustration I'm showing maybe right now is due to, you're gutted. Of course you're gutted. To lose points to win at this stage is massive. Sunday's game will be the same. Come on, Celtic. Let's get the job done. Away to St Johnstone now. Am I right? Now, so there will be no fans at McDermott Park. So they're squeezing in one game before, obviously, we brought the winter break forward. And some of the debates I've seen on Twitter, oh, fuck me. Folk don't even know what they're talking about. They're so biased. It's mad. When every club wants it. Alan Burrows. Always listen to Alan Burrows when it comes to fairness in Scottish football. So I think he's the most balanced by a mile. And he's got no airs or graces about the fact he's promoting Motherwell. But, he's far better at this than me. But I agree with what Joe P's saying there. St Johnstone away, there can't be no excuses about, there was no fans there, so we dropped more points. We're going to need to go there and smash them. We need to make a statement before that break stops. Because if that break occurs and we've dropped more points, kiss the fucking league goodbye. I'm not being dramatic. Kenny, I see fuck Kenny. Kenny, Chris McLaughlin last night, I know that's not his real name. He's got some avatar of like a Disney character, right? And I'll be completely honest, I'm always going to do this with the Bhoycie bus because certain people need called out. See, when I see Phil O'Donnell's death getting compared to COVID restrictions happening right now, I've invited him on the show. I sent him a very polite email or direct mail, whatever you want to call it. No reply, of course. And that's what happens. It's a shame. I think it was John James. Content, a draw isn't the end of the world, mate. No. Well, we know no team wins every game. It's all about winning more games though than your rivals in a league campaign. That is the truth. In comes Theresa, my darling. We had our warning against Ross County not taking our chances and being lucky to get it over the line. And tonight we're lacking up front and was critical to take chances. I mean, do we want to be over harsh on Owen Moffat? I didn't think he offered anything. But is he really at the level Ange's looking for in a match like this? Of course he's not, guys. We all know this. Did Celtic have enough to win this game, though? Absolutely. Now, Catholic Rebel, we're all gutted. We need to take a break, though, with the way the team's depleted, Bhoycie. Catholic Rebel, as always, I know you watch a few times now, mate. Love it. Love it. Whose team is more depleted tonight? Come on. Let's get real. Whose team tonight was more depleted? St Mirren or Celtics? Let's get fucking real. You know, and that's no disrespectful, by the way. I'm saying that, Catholic Rebel. I'm here to bring up arguments that I don't necessarily agree with, but that, I'm sorry, but, you know, they were more depleted than us. Let's be abundantly clear on that. Echoes Mark Bradley. Yes, mate. Good to have you with us as well. On the positive side, the ref was the best I've seen in months. Oh, jeez. So, RFC 56. Hey! Welcome aboard, man. Right. RFC, you remember subscribing the way out, son, as I slap your ass. Check the record books, mate. In May 56 is incoming. Don't be jealous. Well, it would be number 2 in most people's mind, but I don't know, were you one of the protesters outside saying our club can't die? Or I don't know, was that all just made up? I don't know why you all got wound up at that time if nothing actually changed. You should have just went as a laugh. Everyone seemed a bit wound up at that at the time. Jack Johnson's in. Great name. I am not looking forward to this early extended break. No football in lockdown when nothing else is on. I think they've had to equate all this in, Jack. But what I will say is there was 3 weeks break happening in January either way. Do you know what I mean? Like this break was occurring, whether it was now on the 20 from the 26th onwards, or whether it was from the 4th of January. I don't really see a difference as of yet. Brilliant to have Jerry Seals. He says champions again. You're right, Jerry. I think I know what team you support, son. Probably not the same as mine, but you're right. Champions again. Ole, ole. Kieran comes in. Always got good points to make. As gutting as tonight has been, he's more concerned about the rescheduled derby. Will Kyogo and other Japanese be away plus Rogic? Well, I think, mate, you need to, as everyone seems to be in the other half of Glasgow right now, thinking about the African Cup of Nations before you even think about those, because obviously Motherwell, Aberdeen, Hearts, Robbie Nielsen, the lot have all came out concerned about the African Cup of Nations, you know, or with a lack of regard, I should say, for the African Cup of Nations. What a load of nonsense. Frank Brennan has came in. Brilliant to have you with us, Frank. Welcome aboard the bus, first and foremost. This is the first time I brought up one of your comments. Sadly, the winter break is not ever going to cure our cretinous and moronic obsession with crab ball that always follows when we don't. Oh, I like it when we don't get that early goal that we always need. Do you feel that's great? Let's open that one up. Let's open it up to the Monday Club. I know it's not Monday, but should we just open up to the bus? Should we say that? Is that? I always think of a Monday club, you know. But anyway, Frank's right. A Celtic shitting it a wee bit if they don't get the early goal and they don't take the lead. I think there is an argument for that. And we just need to call, and I've said this before in the streams, and it was all a wee bit for banter and stuff, but we need to call spades sometimes. If that means looking within, then I'm not against that either. Anthony though comes in a wee bit more balanced. He says the games are done now. I've said my piece. On to Sunday, then let's refresh over the new year and get a new faces in. There's a long way to go. Well, you know what, Anthony? No one at any point is ruling off this league title. Still, we're further behind than what we thought it would be. 100%. Tonight was I thought, a shoe-in for a win, considering St Mirren's circumstance. We always moan about when we've had circumstances against us. Well, tonight it was the other way. You know, the shoe was on the other foot. We fucked it. No two ways. Now, getting to New Year's one thing, but St Johnstone away comes before that, so we can't get ahead of ourselves on that either. In comes Daniel, Celtic supported pod, claiming that the performance is good enough to match. Celtic supported pod. I'm not quite sure what that means. Daniel, if you want to expand on that, you know, I'll bring your comment up, mate. Philip DeMarco comes in. He says, this is where we all differ from what we want out of this team. I want the youth to play, and they need to play. In these games, this will happen, and it's pish, but we need to refocus. Would you not say, though, the likes of Owen Moffat in an ideal world, and I know we don't live in an ideal world, but especially now with the new restrictions and that, but you look at Kyogo at the weekend and you think, could he have done anything tonight? Could he have, I don't know. Maybe his injuries deteriorated. It's speculation on my part. But the youngsters coming in, for me, away from home, oh, it's tough. You know, it is tough. Jimmy, raise your hands, jump for joy. Let's hear it for the Bhoycie boy. And by the way, I guess my smartest in the zippy of the series so far. In comes Hugh. Yes, Russell, best Celtic show about. Mate, it's not in good terms tonight, but I really, really do appreciate, you know, the positivity. I've came up with schedules, by the way. I don't get a chance to you lot because you hit me so many comments, and I like that. So, we have rightly so enthused over our team recently. The injuries, the missing players played a huge part. However, we had more tools than St Mirren. I think we've kind of probably covered that now. But I do still feel like we can't always go on the basis that Ange gets a free pass because we all like him. He has to be held to account when things get wrong. Towards the end of the match tonight, did you see enough change in the Celtic game plan, tactics, formation, style? I didn't. I'll be honest to you. It felt like you were banging your head of a brick wall because you knew what the outcome was going to be. We have to be more streetwise. Have to be more streetwise. Just try to catch up with the comments as well. It goes Frank again. Why not? They're not. Well, but Julie Basuma, we Callum and Rogic were completely not up for it tonight in freezing. Well, I mean, the freezing cold and the wind and the rain, I would really struggle to hold that against as successful a captain as successful a Celtic player as Callum McGregor. I think he's seen all that before. I mean, Rogic, well, I don't know. I thought he found it difficult to break the barriers that were in front of him. I am loving how many Rangers fans are coming in, by the way. And by the way, you're all welcome on the bus every day of the week when you come. Keep it real. Keep the chat sound. Don't don't go too far. If you want to have banter with us, though, I actually don't mind that. If I see anyone going too far with, you know, the sort of rhetoric, you know, we're talking about, they'll be booted out. If anyone's coming and have a wee nibble, I'm not always against that. Monty, though, regular contributor, he comes in. We need major signings in this side ASAP. I agree. And I think this is probably one of the things, Monty, is everyone deep down knows they're going to make signings probably come the 1st of January. I think they're lined up. You know the other side are shitting themselves from that. That's why they want to play in front of plastic seats. No offence, but I mean, the logic's just bizarre. But there's also, from a Celtic perspective, I think we all acknowledge as well, the squad is depleted. I don't feel threadbare in comparison to the opposition tonight. That's where I pulled up the threadbare comment, and it's no offence to the commenter who said it. I just feel that threadbare describes Mirren tonight, not Celtic. We should always have more, and we did have more. We didn't have as many call-offs as them, and even if we did have as many call-offs, we have far more in reserve than them. So we need to take up the chin sometimes. Do you know what I mean? Martin Wilmot comes in. Sorry, just joined. Johnson has had his chance. He's not Celtic class, nor is a batter. No front line to speak of tonight. This is in the board. And the lack of recruitment's a huge thing, Martin. We all know this. But what I would say is Abada, first month or two of the season, looked more than up for the occasion to me, in my opinion. Mikey Johnson, I don't think he's been given a fair crack of the whip as of yet. His end ball is shit. His shooting is wayward. His final through ball is murder. But he's direct. He's given it a go. And I think he has become a whipping boy at times. It's a collective. Ange will tell you this. It's a collective. It's not about one guy. See, when we win and it's Cool Goose goes to, you might say the guy's special. But you're talking about the team, the personalities. So why, when we get a shit result, do we have to always focus on Mikey Johnson? However, I also appreciate the fact Abada and him, to an extent, aren't performing the way we would like. Right. Oh dear. The comments are getting lively tonight, eh? I love that. Honestly. Mere fear for a paper cut is some of these. In comes Jack Johnson. That channel just isn't fun anymore. They'll take. Oh, mate, honestly, it is embarrassing, mate. But I agree. Frank Brown back in. So Johnston are going to play the exact same way on Boxing Day. Just like Livingston, Ross County, and St Mirren tonight. Are we going to play the exact same way too with our crab ball? Well, I don't like calling it crab ball, okay? But what I would say is, see when Plan A doesn't work, I hate that pattern. We just do Plan A all over again. You know? I hate all that. But Ange has not shown enough variation in his play. And don't get me wrong, maybe he'll argue Giacomakis has never really been consistently fit for him. And that was the guy to maybe be part of a two up front or part of a more long ball approach if needed. Maybe that is the case. And maybe we need to take that on the chin. Spent 30 million, be another 20 in January. Oh, Matt, I mean, I don't know what you, have you ever met Rachel Riley's son? You and her would get on really well. But the thing is, she can count. You can't. But it'd be a brilliant education for you. You know, if you know Tam Selleck's son, he knows the countdown timer, which I think. No, a microphone off there. I think you need that, Matt, because spent 30 million plus be another 20 in January. I mean, is he talking about like a fucking English Premier League team? Or what's he even on about? I mean, just if you want to just keep commenting hundreds of lies, though, Matt, I'm all for it because I'll laugh at your numbers, as will Carol Vorderman, Rachel Riley, even Big Richard Whiteley, who's not even here anymore. You'll be laughing at you, know. Right. We weren't defeated. It'll be 50 million and more maths. This is mad. Monty, just think, Russell. Ivan Toney was up at Lennoxtown and John McGinn should have been done and dusty. It's criminal. We agree with that. Monty, I agree. The one thing I will say, big boy, I think Ange has earned the right, and we obviously are looking at three Japanese guys that seem, let's be honest, they seem almost certainties in a weird way that they're going to join Celtic. So that'll be Ange getting his sway shall we say, in terms of transfers. And we fucking needed it, mate. Sam Glass comes in. Johnston won't survive the January overhaul. He said his chance after chance. A Big Ange has his hand tied in that position, and he wouldn't be played if he could be helped. I think Sam is talking a narrative that I'm now. I feel a wee bit. I feel hard on it. I made a big point on the Double Down show a couple of weeks ago with my wee brother Jonathan, and we made a point about. I felt Johnson was maybe. I felt he was getting a harshly treated guy. I don't think he's been given a fair crack of the whip. Right? My personal opinion. I think he's going down the James Forrest road from before. But obviously results dictate as well how favourably or how harshly the youngsters get treated. But Sam's coming in and he says he wouldn't even be getting played if Ange had his proper transfer window basically in the summer. And after January, basically, he's got no chance. Fair enough. It seems to be a common thread, Sam. I think it's fair that everyone's got different opinions. Christian James, a brand new contributor on the Bhoycie bus. Welcome aboard for a start. Ange thought it was an easy game and rested players. He's feeling full of himself after the cup final. Backfired, caught with the trousers down. 2 games to the break, he should have went all in. Well, interesting. Because what would you have rather? Kyogo started tonight or the cup final? That's now going to be the debate. If you'd known the 2 goals Kyogo scored against the shitty Hibs team, their interim manager, in the least of priorities cup final, would have meant in a must-win league game away from home, he would be unavailable completely. Would you have taken that option? Jay Lee is shooting his mother. His final ball is shocking. How can you defend a waster like Johnson who can't set up a goal or scores one? Well, Jay Lee, I've got to come back to you on that and say, firstly, what were the other alternatives? Because Owen Moffat was up front tonight as well, by the way. So the alternatives obviously are not great to start with. Secondly, how long has this guy been fit for? We have to give him a chance. The sound is bad. Anyway, Big Red, I'm glad you brought up how devastating the sound is. Mate, I'm doing this on a whim and a prayer, mate. You know, I don't have, buttons to, peddle my money like the bloggers do. I don't get any of this shit, mate. I earn a very modest wage. So I'm not going to apologise for the sound being shit, mate. It is what it is. The Bhoycie bus is very much, it runs on fumes, my man, shall we say. And sadly, I'm not in a position to have studios or anything sound like anything like as good as I used to. So that's just the way it is. That is just the way it is. Catholic Rebel goes back. I can't defend crosses or cross. What happened, Bhoycie? I'm a wee bit disappointed as well. I felt the display tonight, regardless of the personnel we put in, would have been full of a wee bit more swagger, Catholic Rebel, than what we've seen tonight. I am a wee bit disappointed on that front. Kingside Swimmers back in. The numbers for tonight's stream are tremendous. Oh, it's so tainted. I mean, it's not like it makes me a penny, mate. But it's brilliant to think if we did have a bus, 246 passengers would be on it. And when I say passengers, I mean it in the first sense that I'm a passenger too. We're all just taking turns of the mic, really. That's the way I see it. I think that's the best way to see it. Comments are flying in, man. I mean, I don't know how to keep up. Zen, fuck the cup final. Tonight, £40 million reasons more important. I think Zen's got... I think Zen's got a point. I think he does. I think Zen's got £40 million. Put it that way, and the chances are, if we win the league this year, it is £40 million. Why could we afford to play certain players on Sunday in the League Cup final. We should have beaten them anyway. So Mirren, why didn't they play tonight? But the flip side is, of course, should we not have beat them anyway? Should the game plan not have changed at some point? Jay Lee, I'm going to bring him back in because he wants to debate, and I like this. This is what the Bhoycie bus is all about. Because it's not about me and Jay Lee saying we agree on everything. We won't ever. But we'll agree on some stuff, we'll disagree on others. I want the points that disagree with mine always aired on the Bhoycie bus. So, Russell, if there's no alternatives to play a guy who can't set up a goal or score one, what's the point of that? Might as well give a random fan a game. Well, Jay Lee, that to me would subscribe to the fact there's only one way of playing football. And that means you have to have a winger. And it has to be Mikey Johnson because of injuries. Or were there other alternative ways to have played the game tonight? I happen to think we could have tried different tactics tonight. And that is something that seems to be getting lost. Think of Strangelove the Doctor. I know this name. I recognise that name from the other pod. Good to have you with us, mate. Welcome aboard, as always. He's pissed off with the result, but not the team's performance. They dominated for 95 minutes. We just couldn't get the goal. We move on and we go again. Well, yes, you look at the stats, and Strangelove the Doctor's point makes it ticks every box. It ticks every box. See, at the end of the day, for me, there could have been a more direct approach taken eventually. I'm not saying Celtic, after an hour of dominating, creating opportunities, not taking them, need to change and lose their principles or their morals or their, the idealistics that Ange seems to have ingrained on the team. And for a lot of the time, that's something I think most Celtic fans are all for. However, you have to mix it eventually. When it's not coming, the points come first. Points before principles. That's my new slogan, in fact. Points before principles. Corners were garbage. Not for the first time this season. Kirsty and James. You're right. Here comes Glasgow Rebel. Bhoycie, the real facts are, and I like this, the real facts. Glasgow Rebels got them. The league is ours to lose. Fact. We remain the remaining games. The league is ours. It's realistic, but it's facts. The board need to double down on Ange. That's nothing we've not said before. That's nothing we've not said before. And I think the thing is, though, don't be fooled by what happened 18 months ago. There was a COVID League won by the other team. They call it a COVID handout via Zoom call. The one we won. We all know we were miles clear in that. But what is to say, if this keeps going rapid, if we're too far behind, it might look like the best decision come March if we remain 7-8 points behind. That if the league gets called, we'll have nowhere to stand. We need to get tighter. Frank Brennan, play the fixture. That to me is a fact. This was a phrase I coined about Celtic's recruitment policy that Atomic Destructor 1 comes in with. And I feel is a true fact that Celtic have signed too many players over the years that were Stepping Stone FC. Was I Stepping Stone FC? I don't know. Anthony McCrae, when was the last time we needed a forward? We played the forward line that week. Johnson, Moffat, miles away from what we need. One cost £3.5 million. One's the top scorer in the B team. Mikey Johnson is the fall guy. But I agree. I mean, of course we've got better than that. Of course we do. Jimmy Wales. This is the content I need for the channel to grow. Because Jimmy Wales says, you're spelt, you are shite. Jimmy Wales, I would have a whale of a time on your channel if you've got more content like that, mate. That would be brilliant. Absolutely nonsense, mate. It's a sad thing that people think that. I don't know what your last bar mitzvah was like, Kyogo, or whatever it is you do on a night out, but sadly, you're miles off it. And I find that disappointing that that's your feedback to a 45-minute show with 230 people watching. I'm not actually even going to read it out and give you the credence of it. But, oh, come on. You can do better. Imagine throwing a new signing in the bucket in his first season. I agree with that with regards to Abada, Philip. I really do. I think that the Abada turned 20 at Pittodrie when he scored, by the way, incidentally, this season. And he actually got us a few important goals at the start of the season. I think we all need to wise up and be a wee bit aware that he is 100% going to have inconsistencies in his game. And if we're going to be relying on 20-year-olds to get us through it, we shouldn't. People, they look at Mikey Johnson and they think, well, he should be more consistent. But look at the gulf of time he's not played. It doesn't always work that way as well. Mikey Johnson, I worked it out. I didn't work it out. I read it online. I went on that transfer market page. He might be 23 years old, 89 appearances by now. Come on. It's not like he's a veteran and we should be hanging our hat on him either. Christine comes back and Abada needs to come off taking corners. Yeah, his corners went great. I agree with that. I thought, Celtic's ruthless side wasn't great tonight, if I'm honest. Feed the bear. If the ball don't back Ange this Monday, then you've had enough. He's not going to be watching or going to the games. It's a fucking joke. And we need more than just the Japanese market. Well, I think this is such an important tactic. How often have you seen this season already? And I'm not going to focus just on the goal Ralston scored at Ross County last week. It was a huge moment, though, we all felt at the time. We've blown that point difference already, though, frustratingly. But I think the grit and desire and just sometimes the league's going to be won by more than just technical ability. It's going to be down to mad things, heart, desire. It's just difficult to put it all together. There's a recipe you need for a title-winning team, and I hope Ange gets it all right. But I completely agree that it's not all just going to be by signing guys for the J League. Of course it's not. Absolutely, of course it's not. Frank, I wish I'd ever been on the number 40 bus. I want to be on that bus one day, mate. But right now, I can only deal with the Bhoycie bus. Here's a curveball. J Lee, we need to sign Martin Boyle in the January window. The exact type of player that we need. I agree with that wholeheartedly. We're going to need, and we said this in the summer, Spfl streetwise players. Martin Boyle, since the start of the season, or since the window shut, has done nothing to deter that. And of course, it's great to just create, think of players that we can get that are going to enhance the squad. But I think it's a straightforward on that, Julie. I think it's a straightforward. It's there in front of you. He's disillusioned at the Jack Ross sacking. He actually said it in a press conference. We've seen the damage he can do to our nearest rivals. In the semi-final, he's affordable. That, to me, is a no-brainer. In amongst the types of signings we know we're going to see from the J League that might be unknown quantities, but we're all going to have a buy-in on because they're Ange boys. And I get there's two sides to it. We can't just think every Ange identified player from the J League are all going to hit the ground running. We all know that. I hope the comments aren't getting all too naughty. Ryan, the Rebels, if it's all getting naughty in the comments, it's not my style. Like I'll say, I am open to all sorts of different types of comments, different types of ideas. Sometimes it'll be other sets of supporters, but keep it clean. Keep it clean. If there's a bit of naughtiness, I'm all for that as well. Daniel, my comments get no respect on this chat. Daniel, mate, I think you're doing me a wee bit of a disservice, mate. If you think when the volume of comments that are coming in, I can sieve it, to just getting your good ones in. It's not my way to be, trying to dilute your good ones or just, cherry picking your shite ones. It's not as easy as that, mate. Daniel, your contributions are welcome all the time. All the time. Kevin Reynolds. Bhoycie puts up 100% more comments than anyone. That's why the channel's popular. No favourites, and he disagrees as well. Well, Kevin, certainly Daniel knows as well the wee shite that I like his comments, so it's absolutely never going to be cherry picked, not getting his valid contributions in as much as the other ones. Oh. Well, let's look at what Ryan says. I mean, is that something trust me, I don't have any wee, you know what I mean? Like when Liam Gallagher said that he had, he used to have wee midgets running around making his cups of tea. Unfortunately, when you're live on air and you're trying to create balanced debate, I have just not got the time to realise on the spot feed the bear who the naughty ones are. But I will revisit it. If I think there's naughty comments coming in that don't bring anything to the bus, they will be removed, feed the bear. And I always will take points of view from the likes of yourself, perhaps more seriously than others, because I think I can trust your judgment. It's difficult. I think it's very difficult. It's very difficult when emotions are running high as well to judge comments. Are they balanced? Are they banter? Do they just happen to disagree with us? Or are they all just want to pile in and try and create carnage? And I will, by the way, get better at that and realise that, and that will happen. But the thing that you have got to be guilty of is at this point in time, as you're running live and you're the only guy with a mouse in front of you watching the comments flying, sometimes you're going to look like a dick. Me, I mean, when you're not being able to keep up with all the chats. This is difficult. There does seems to be, yeah, I get it. And I apologise if anyone feels that certain comments should be filtered out, blocked, or stopped from remotely appearing in the group chat. Already, I can only, I'm only one man. However, what I will say tonight, before it all gets messy, and before, people get all overly frustrated, is the Bhoycie bus. Firstly, does not come in with a test put on you, that you need to pass before you can get your comments raised. I will always try and bring up as many balanced comments as I feel are fair, but at times will some slip through the net that I will look back on and feel, shit, that's not what I wanted. Of course that's going to happen. Judging from the side isn't that easy. Hearing, I mean, we might get political at times. It might get like this. Well, Graham Caldwell's seems to think Mikey Johnson, he would take in a heartbeat. Some of their squads might feel like that as well. I think again, oh man. I mean, I just feel that it just gets a wee bit unnecessary. That if you want to join in, I'm all for it. I will block who needs to be blocked. And I want to balance debate. Christian James, I think Christian James, he gets it. The Bhoycie bus is going to be, it's going to be a bit rocky. If there's folk just coming in trying to spout poison, that's one thing. I think if people are coming in even if they do support a different team, I'm all for it. We're all upset right now. I'm upset. And hopefully, Big Red is right. And he says the Bhoycie bus is the number 67. And that's how it's going to work. I've not got a team in Minions who are just going to be able to snipe our comments coming in. Sometimes they're not going to all be to our taste, guys. I will filter them out when I retrospectively look at them. Tensions are high. Bad result tonight. Ange, is he still the right guy? Absolutely. I think the winter break being brought forward is a good thing. Absolutely. Are we going to pander to every single person who gets upset by one comment from one to the other? Absolutely not. We're going to keep this bus lively. I don't want anyone upset in this. Absolutely not. Of course I don't. What I do want, though, is a channel that's colourful, engages, calls me out when I get things wrong, but I won't pander to, nonsense when it doesn't need to be. If I don't need to do it, I won't do it. If it's, conflicting ideas, then fair enough. I mean, I think the Red Baron, I think he's maybe trying to be clever with wordplay. You won't catch me out, son. Let me assure you, we will weed out the wankers, but we will keep the chat bouncy, lively, and real. 57 minutes tonight, guys. Again, it's nearly Christmas. Come on. So, shite result. I hope you all have a very good night. I think this is Bhoycie Bus's best to disappear on the more important matters. And I hope the rest of you have a very good evening. It's a shame the result didn't go where we wanted, but that's going to happen. I wish you all well. Thanks to everyone who's joined in. Well, the majority. It's all good. The bus keeps rolling. I'll see you all soon.